Good morning, Lakeside Longhorns, and happy Thursday, March 10th, 2022. It is a thrilling Thursday here at Lakeside. We are getting ready for open house tonight. We're excited to see all your families tonight and to showcase all of the hard work that you have done. I know there's some great things that you guys have been doing to make sure that you show your families. I know we are also getting ready for a half day tomorrow and spring break. So I know we have our spirit rally. It's going to be great. You'll see maybe a different assistant principal and a different principal tomorrow leading that assembly. So get excited for that. We are going to be celebrating in style. We do have some birthdays today. We have some birthdays next week as well. So I'm going to shout out to both situations because we're not here for spring break. Let's see, on the 10th, it is Corinne's birthday in 3C. So happy birthday, Corinne. It is your birthday today. And then next week, our birthdays, we have Henry Cummings in 5A. It is your birthday next Tuesday. So you can come on down to the office and we'll go ahead and celebrate you. We do not have any birthdays on the 17th, but lots of birthdays over spring break. So stay tuned for announcements to make sure that you hear your birthday if your birthday's over spring break. I wish you guys a happy spring break, a restful spring break, and a safe spring break. I will see you when you get back, and I know we're going to make these last, day and a half count. But before I let you go, I do have a joke. What's an alligator in a vest called? Well, it has to be an investigator. Get it? Investigator. Again, I cracked myself in my office up all by myself. I hope you make it a great day. I'll see you on the flip side. Remember, learn with your head, lead with your heart. Bye.
Good morning, my name is Autumn.
Good morning, my name is Vade.
Good morning, my name is Calvin.
Good morning, my name is Anshi.
Will you please stand for the United States Pledge?
I pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
My name is Vade. Please remain standing for the Texas pledge.
Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee. Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible.
Please remain standing for the moment of silence.
Good morning, Longhorns. It's time for Thinking Thursday, and today I thought I would read a story to you. Well, of course, I'm going to need your help to read this story. This is a fun story and perfect for today because we'll be celebrating St. Patrick's Day while we're on spring break next week. So let's get started. The story is called The Day I Met a Leprechaun. In this story, you're going to discover that there are 3 missing words at the end that start with the letters TMH. So of course, I can't tell you what those words are going to be. We'll need to get some context clues by reading the other words to find out what we think these missing words could be. Here, let's try it out. Last spring, I visited the Emerald Isle. While walking through a field of clover, I spied a funny little man. He wore green short pants, knee-high socks, suspenders, and a bow tie. He turned and walked over to me, tipped his green hat, held out his hand, and said something. You know what? I might even look at the next part of the story to help me figure out what those 3 words are. The next part says, I reached out to take his hand. Oh, okay, well, he held out his hand, and then I know that I'm going to take his hand. What do you think he said to me that starts with T and M and H? Yeah, I think you're right. Did you say, take my hand? Yeah, those are the next 3 words. Let's go on. I reached out to take his hand, but he smiled and disappeared. Where did you go? I asked, and I heard him ask, C-Y-S-M, 4 words that start with those letters. What could it be? Where did he go? It says he disappeared. If something disappears, that means I can't see it. I wonder if this has anything to do with that. You got some ideas of what these words might be? He's asking us a question. Did you say, can't you see me? Or can you see me? I think something like that would be a great ending to that page. Let's keep going. Then he magically reappeared. I frowned, feeling quite frustrated, and he looked at me if he were quite concerned, and he asked me, what would you be asking someone if you were very concerned about them? That starts with the letter W-T-M. What's the matter? What great conclusion drawers, inferringers you are. That's not a word, this is a worm. I've never met a real leprechaun before, I said. How do you know I'm a real leprechaun? He asked. I smiled and said, because 4 words that start with Y-L-L-O. Well, I've never met a leprechaun. How do we know that this person is a leprechaun? What made you think it was a leprechaun? Because of the way it looked? Then maybe this is, you look like one. That's what we would say back to him. Well, you happen to be correct, he smiled. I am Barney the leprechaun, he bowed and said, 6 words that start with I-A-P-T-M-Y. What would you say to someone if you were meeting them for the first time and introducing yourself? Yeah, probably something like, I am pleased to meet you. Let's see, it's a pleasure to meet you. Hey, we were really, really close on that one. And what we said made sense in the story, so it's okay if we were off just a little bit. Let's try this next page. I have a wee little problem, he confessed. I've lost my pot of gold. You look like a good lad. And then he asked, he's lost his pot of gold, and now he's asked us something. 6 words that start with C-Y-H-M-F-I. What do you think he's probably asking us? What would make sense in this story? Can you infer what these words might be? Could you help me find it? Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Okay, let's try a little bit more. I've heard stories of leprechauns, though, and how they can sometimes trick silly humans. So I shook my head and said, what do you think he's probably saying if he's shaking his head? Is he agreeing? No, I bet he's saying N-W. No way! Good job, Lakeside. But Barney was ready with an answer, and I could tell that he could be very convincing when he wanted to be. If you will help me find my pot of gold, I will, something that starts with G-Y-T-W. A magical being like a leprechaun. If we do something for them, he'll do something for us. What do magical beings sometimes do that can start with these letters? Give you 3 wishes? Is that what you guessed? So I agreed, because who wouldn't want 3 wishes? I do. Barney told me to follow him into his hollow, a hole inside a nearby tree. I began to step inside when he looked at me crossly, and he pointed at a button on the bark of the tree. And he told me that it is not polite to enter someone's home without... What do you need to do if you enter someone's home? That would start with the letters R-T-B. I hear you guys shouting it. Ring the bell. Absolutely, absolutely. It made no sense to me, but I did it anyway because I wanted my 3 wishes. So I stepped forward and I rang the bell. Ding dong. Barney looked up at me as if he were surprised and asked, what do you think he's asking when someone rings the bell? That starts with W-T. Who's there? And it's me, I shouted. Calm down, my boy. Come on in. He was just being silly. And then he moved aside and pushed me ahead of him, forcing me to enter the hall of the tree before him, saying, so he pushed us out in front of him and said, what do you think he would say? That starts with Y-G-F. He wants us to get in front of him. So what's he probably saying? You go first. And then guess what happened? Well, that is up to you, my friends. So I would love on Friday, later today or Friday, or over your spring break to finish the leprechaun story. And when you get to the end of your page, or your slide, please send me or figure out what the letters are of your 3 words or 4 words or 5 words. There are last few words of your page. Send us the first few letters so we can guess what your ending of the leprechaun story is. You might do this as a class. You might do this by yourself. You might share it with a teacher. Send it to me on Schoology. I think this would be a fun activity for you to do. I hope you've enjoyed this inferencing activity, this practicing drawing what the conclusion or inference might be of what's happening in the story. I know you guys practice this all the time in your classroom. This is another fun idea for how to do that. So I'll say goodbye with saying this has been another good idea for some really great thinking, Mrs. Warren. Happy spring break, Longhorns.
Please join us in saying the Lakeside Pledge.
I am respectful to others. I am responsible for self. I am honest and kind. I will take initiative and persevere. Follow us. We are Lakeside Longhorns. Have a thrilling Thursday.